There's a rumble.
Hey!
There's a rumble.
They're rumbling.
They're rumbling.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. I'm Chrisbee.
I'm Skilzin, and I've got 76 packs to open.
What we're going to do, we're not going to do it like your regular pack opening streamers, because, you know, these guys are just rushing through it, just like, oh yeah, that's cool, oh that's nice, that's good. We got quite a few, but like basically new cards or anything, any points of interest, we're going to...
Any points of interest, we're going to talk about them.
Yeah, and see, and just kind of see how we feel, because we've played a little bit of the new set, but yeah, this is
I
Skilzin's.
actually haven't. He has. I've not played a single thing. Yeah. Let's look at these old god card packs. I might change that in a minute.
Okay, so
straight away, one of the cards I
Howling
wanted.
Commander.
Draw a Divine
It's a
Shield,
really
maybe
interesting
from your
card.
deck.
It does work really well.
It's just if you could either run the Divine Shield deck or you just run Tyrann and Wicker Flame.
Yeah,
That's it.
This
one's hilarious. I know it's your if it dies on your opponent's turn, but if you give that Spite Ridge Steed, and it doesn't get silenced.
Well, that's it.
Actually, this is a really good pack. This card's been like apparently the new abusive sergeant because it gives one attack permanently.
And the Skellymancer and the other one, I'm not sure remember what it's called, but these ones that summon monsters during your opponent's turn.
Do things during your opponent's turn. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because you can't actually hook it up with like the God, what's he called? Umbra. You can't hook it up with Umbra.
You can't.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Though if you did get Dirty Rat, well, Umbra's out. That does work. So if the Dirty Rat one, nice. It's a little interesting interaction there.
That'd be kind of. Blood Razor.
Eternal Servitude.
Eternal Servitude.
Really good card.
This again, yeah, but this is a super good card. It's just like you can play the the resummon decks without worrying about like your Northshire Cleric and coming back and things. But you gotta say about Blood Razor.
That Cobalt Scalebane as well. I mean, the Dragon decks, they're gonna make a comeback with cards like this because it's so strong. It's so ridiculously strong.
What gets me about this card is granted, it could give Dragon Priest a boost. To be honest, it's actually really good just with Nether Spite Historian because it makes it a 4/3.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's an early game card. I mean, the stats are there: 5 for 5/5 standard. It's a dragon, so it hooks up with everything in your dragon deck, and then this +3 every turn momentum.
Yeah,
it just adds so much momentum in the game, and it puts your opponent in a position where they have to get rid of it. You have to get something done. Another
thing with this card as well, it could also fit in like your control decks with the Curator if you don't want to play Primordial Drake, because you were kind of, I mean, Primordial Drake's a great card, don't get me wrong, but you were kind of forced to play it with the Creator package.
Yeah. Plus, there's not a lot of ways to kill it. I mean, you think about field wipes and stuff. The only field wipe that does 5 damage is
Dragonfire Potion,
which doesn't affect it. Doesn't affect it, and it's just like, you know. So like you're playing this thing turn 5. There's not a lot of ways to deal with it.
No, it's pretty good.
Forge of Souls.
Forge of Souls.
It's gonna make Pirate Warrior disgusting.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like they try and do it in a way that's like, you can play this in any warrior, but it's just gonna get played by. Yeah. It's just like, would you run 2?
Yes, absolutely I would. Absolutely I would. And it makes your deck in a position where like before you were trying to mulligan into your weapons. You wanted your weapons in your hand because pirates do run short if they don't get the weapons.
Yeah.
But now you got Forge of Souls. You don't need to keep the weapons. You're better off keeping the minions and just having this in your deck, just pulling the weapons into your hand.
The argument behind this in like a controlling version of warrior or like this new version of warrior with this kind of damage and stuff is you could just coin that on turn 1 to guarantee a turn 2 Fiery War Axe, which I think is beautiful.
Considering the cost, especially early on, you're never sad to draw a weapon early in the game as a warrior, regardless of what version you're running. And then to have a card that's suddenly drawing you 2 cards and both of them being weapons, it's really good. Ridiculously good.
So I'm going to talk quickly about these. I like the direction they're taking warrior with these, purely because I think they've done a few whirlwindy things, and as I say, I like the idea of the way warrior's going. Not the biggest fan of this one, but there are other cards that just stand out.
It's a snowball effect.
Like Rotface, and there's the 1/3 that obviously damages stuff when they come in, and with that, then it's pretty good.
And you're probably, if you're running that kind of deck, you're probably going to be running things like Enrage and stuff. So you're
Enrage actually become pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You summon this turn 3, and you summon a 3/3 and a 2/2,
and then a Righteous Protector. We'll see where that actually fits if the full-on Divine Shield deck becomes a thing, but we'll have to see. Okay, so Howl Fiend.
It can be good, can be bad. It's
Put it this way: if you're playing Quest Warlock, you're playing a bad deck anyway. So
yeah, but now with the new.
But I think there's another card that's Treachery.
Mm.
If it's like this, Howl Fiend, Treachery, Spreading Madness, and just hope it discards their hand.
And not to mention the Death Knight Warlock card that summons all the demons that have been discarded this game, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but then you get this back on your side. This card, it's actually got a lot of talk across the community, really, for being like a very aggressive card. Again, another one of these death rattles that have to happen during your opponent's turn to summon a 2/2 ghoul.
Yeah.
Because I've never thought of it the way these other people do when they combine the stats together. So you're pretty much getting like 4 for a 7/4.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good because your opponent doesn't want you to have something remain over to trade into the early game stuff, but also doesn't want to be taken repeated 5 to the face.
Yeah. And you compare it to other like 4-cost cards, like the Shaman cards have gone overlaid. It's like there's not a lot of adverse effects really, and obviously summoning onto the field, you want to get rid of it, don't you? You don't want to leave it there.
Actually, we've passed a few. Ice Fishing, I do quite like it as a card. It's not as it's like a Forge of Souls, but nowhere near as good because the impacts that a weapon puts to a game than a Murloc is like completely different.
But it keeps the tempo up, and you do see in a lot of these quest Murloc decks, your hand starts running thing quite quickly.
I think it's literally, if you top deck this with an empty hand, if, your Mega Fin's already died and, things are going wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But then you probably normally, lost anyway at that point. But
5 packs in, so getting a legendary soon.
Hopefully.
Ooh, first epic. Chrysalis, give a minion to sleep and freeze it. There's
actually I want to talk about a lot of these cards.
Yeah.
Cryostatus. There isn't many buffs in the game that'll give you +3/+3 on turn 2. If you play a turn 1 Taunter, turn 1 Argent Squire, even if you just swing with it on turn 2 and then drop a Cryostatus on it,
you've already got your attack.
You've got your attack.
It's going to be frozen until the next turn. Is that the case? Because it's frozen on your turn. Does it wait until the end of your turn?
I think it may do. I don't know if they changed any of the mechanics to do with freezing.
It's interesting.
Desperate Stand, as a big Paladin fan, I don't amazingly like it because it just really just strikes me as a redemption.
It's a redemption with targeting, hence the
so you can, but normally you set up your redemption. You set up Tyrion redemption.
The thing to remember about this,
and you never click your hero.
You compare it to redemption. Redemption, you're playing as a secret. You're not necessarily going to get the effects on the monster thing. With Desperate Stand, and the thing you have to remember, you can play it on a minion you're about to ram or kill yourself. So you're the one who can decide who it's happening on and whether or not it happens on the turn that you're doing it.
That's fair. To be fair,
that's the argument.
Give it that. No, I will give it that. Yeah, 100%. Happy Ghoul, I think, is hilarious. Like, I love the artwork. I think it could give like an aggressive priest deck a chance.
I've even seen it.
Imagine Pirate Warrior.
I've seen it being used in Warlock. That was actually really, really, really good.
Well, yeah. Imagine in Pirate Warrior though. So they go turn 1, Nazar's first mate Patches attack you. Your turn 2, hero power, and then drop 2 Happy Ghouls. You've suddenly swung the board in such a stupid way.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, moving on. Ooh.
Jesus. Okay, so we can go through some of these.
Shadow Excellence, I actually really like this card.
Yeah, that's actually a card I didn't actually see until I saw, I think it was Brian Kibler's final review on the cards. That's a card that completely passed me by. I do really like that card.
Yeah.
Really good. Just the ability of getting like Lich King. Lich King on turn 6 is.
Well, you think about cards that it's not just Lich King. Ysera is another card.
Yeah, Lich King, Ysera.
And even if it just summons a normal minion, just having that extra kind of just that extra kind of tempo where you're taking your cards that maybe aren't so strong and putting it in a position of having a strong 5/5. Because like that mid game isn't always something that's dominated by Priest unless they're playing Dragon Priest.
Exactly.
Generally speaking, they have like really low statted medium minions before you're looking at the late game. So it's an interesting card. I do like it.
Doomed Apprentice, meh. Don't like it, to be honest. I think it's 3. If it was 2 cost, then yes, it'd be like a Sorcerer's Apprentice that tries to play
Again,
down.
it's a snowball effect. It's one of them where you think to yourself, like, if you got something like that going on and you're against a priest or you're against a mage, and maybe you get a couple of them going, or even if you get like 3 of them going, because you can start like copying your minions and things like that. So it's hard to tell until we get a lot of game time with these kind of cards to see whether or not they're going to be any good.
Right now I don't like it. And then Mindbreaker, it's a fun effect, I like it, but I think it's just a 2/5 just a bit
Same with Grave Shambler. I
just think it's...
I don't see it getting a lot of play.
I think it's just too much work to make a 4-mana 5/5. I know you play it on a turn where your weapon's about to get destroyed, but it's just I'm sure you just got to, again, draw this at the right time, and would you save your weapon swings to draw this minion? It just seems a bit clunky.
Mindbreaker I actually like. I think it's really, really good. Cause, like, I
think it's really good against maybe some of the Death Knight thing. If you drop this against Build-A-Beast, then literally they're just like,
Number one for me, the stats. Because 2/5, you're not getting a lot of minions that have lots of health. So obviously you're going to be playing this in, like, say, a priest, like a health priest, and it's going to be one of those. It's going to be quite difficult, and especially when you start disabling hero powers in a game where hero powers are suddenly becoming such a big deal.
Yeah, hero powers are a massive thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll experiment with it, and probably would be in priest definitely. For it's also a nice thing to bring back with a Gazakis potion.
Oh yeah, totally. There we go. Valera the Hollow. You're talking about this. This is the one you wanted.
I'm not mad. Like, I remember good friend of mine.
So what's the card it's bringing to your hand?
Okay, so the hero power you get is can't think of the name of the
Shadow Redemption or something.
Something like that. So it becomes a copy of the last card you played. So if you have an Arcane Giant and this, it becomes an Arcane Giant.
How much does it cost?
2. But if you play, I think it copies the cost as well. Like the video I saw, if you're an Arcane Giant for free, then an Arcane Giant for free.
Got you.
But if you play an Arcane Giant for free, then play a Sinister Strike, it becomes a Sinister Strike. It just becomes the last card you play, so it could become Ungoro packs, like things like that.
So the possibilities are endless for this one.
The possibilities are endless, and I think a lot of talk in this set has been about flavour, the way the cards work together and how they come true to their lore. And I think giving Valera this kind of effect's really good, because the only hero...
It's complete combo.
And the only hero that could get stealth would be a rogue.
It's also the only hero with a passive hero ability, which is quite good.
It's really, it's really, really nice. I like it. I mean, I want to do rogue, like, try this rogue out, definitely. Also got Glacial Mysteries, which is the 8-cost Mysterious Challenger, which I think when people saw it, they're like, oh my god, this is it. And then it's not that great, is it, really? Because you've got the thing that draws you a secret, you're going to draw your secrets, and Burlock, I really like him.
He's a good card.
I think he's fun. I think
stats are there. I mean, you can compare it to like the Elemental, the 2/1 Elemental. And
then Blood Razor is just so good.
Nash, I mean, it's standard for what it is.
It's shit. The thing with Nash, you never see Bite played, so why would you play Nash? I don't get it.
It's I think it's the mana, I suppose, maybe, but like I said, it's one of those to see. I mean,
it could surprise us, but you just never. I just can't see it being a massive thing. But yeah, Valera the Hollow, I'm actually really happy with that one.
Yeah, it's good.
Playing Rogue first.
Let's keep going.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it.
We're good.
Like I said, Burlock, it's going to fit quite nicely in the middle of deck. Helps you establish that early board quite quickly, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're rocking out on these rares at the moment.
I know. Golden Eternal Servitude. Nice.
Avalanche.
An interesting card. And then
it's really good for board. I mean, that's actually. I mean, the mana compared to what's happening, and the fact that it's a shaman card without these overload things going mad.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
People are saying. I don't know if a lot of people have said that they think the freeze element in shaman hasn't been, abused enough. They haven't bought enough cards out. But you've got the weapon that destroys any frozen minion. You've got this. You've got Burlock. You've then got the legendary that you copy any frozen minion.
You got the 2/7
that's such a sick thing, like an Ali Armor Smith purely for shaman. I'll be trying free shaman. That'll be the standard version of Chill Out.
Can we agree that Venomancer is dog shit?
Yes,
Yeah.
100% dog shit. Even though poisonous is like
poisonous is always
poisonous
horrible.
is a good mechanic, but there's also you can put it on
That's the
good
point.
minions.
That's the point. No, venomous is a good ability, but it's not a mechanic. It is not. It doesn't cog or cohere with anything in your deck. There's no cohesiveness there.
No,
and it's just
it's just complete. Yeah, it's complete dog shit. And Hellfiend, well, I'll try some.
Obviously, it'd be interesting to see these cards coming out with things like Firelands Portal and stuff. I mean, you're not going to be too mad if you get a Venomous.
No, I wouldn't. No, would not be too mad for that coming out of Firelands Portal because
as a standalone card, no.
Yeah, and then that's out. And then I think Gold's Servitude. I'm going to be keeping that.
Ah, you're getting value. Oh,
Okay,
I like this. I like this. I like this because at the end of the day, you dictate what it is. That's coming out.
Copy the lowest cost minion in your hand.
If you've got one card in your hand, you're copying that card. That's the bit that gets you. You know what I mean? And
that's pretty nice. I actually really like that. I think that might be another card that passed me by.
And also, I hate to say it, but it is going to be another one that you're probably going to see in Quest Mage, and it's going to be brutal. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely brutal.
Yeah, because it's another copy for like. Well, whatever the hell they want.
Sorcerer's
Apprentice, main one. The Stone Shell Scavenger, I think, is just... It's good if you're playing this taunt version of Druid, where you got the Death Knight that makes taunts, but I think it's going to be hard to just find a slot for it or find a time to play it.
Oh, yeah. Unless, you only play 6 taunters, you bring out the one... Oh, 5 taunters, you bring out the one that brings all your taunters back, and then you double innovate into this thing.
Yeah.
You have the sickest board in the world, but,
Let's talk about Bone Mare, though. I think it's overhyped, but I think it's really good. Though.
It's really, really good. I mean, you have to understand. I mean, the stats are there. That's a 9/9, but you're getting it at a 5/5 that's being protected behind a minion that's got... Suddenly 4/4, and you're getting to choose which one that is. That can go like in a paladin deck with these lifesteal things. You can put it in like an elemental mage with lifesteal. Basically anything lifesteal, and you're laughing because that's ridiculous.
It's a new arena like shine as well. Like this is going to be a massive card in arena. But yeah, it's just that thing of being able to put a Blessing of Kings on something and making a 5/5.
Well, it's not even that. Obviously, you would compare it to Blessing Kings. So you take the Blessing of Kings out of it, right? And so you're taking out the 4/4/4, which is a 4 mana spell. And now suddenly you're bringing out a 5/5 for a free cost that gives a minion taunt.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's such a good card. You're
going to see a lot of play with that card.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so we've got the...
Dead Scale Knight, dog shit. I don't like it.
No, it's just the only argument I've seen for that is if there's a world that wants to play more aggressive Miller decks, it's another 1-drop. But I think it's just going to clog and get in your way, and you just want to play your standard 1-drop minions.
Ghastly Conjurer, what the hell were they thinking?
Basically, they want Quest Mage to be a thing. That's the only thing they can think of. Chillblade Champion, love the card, so good. The charge lifesteal. If you do buff it, it's even better. If you don't, it's still not bad. I mean, if you hand buff this by just 1, a 4/3 for 4 with charge and lifesteal, that's just gonna swing games. Drain Soul, I really actually like because I forgot Drain Life was 3 mana. I thought Drain Life was 2 mana, and when everyone was going nuts by this, it's like, why? It's the same card that can't hit face, but the fact that it's 2 mana and kills a minion and gives you lifesteal, I think it's just... I do really like it. It's a very nice card.
It works. It'd be interesting to see.
And it's another card that works very well with Defile, where you can just defile down a minion.
Yeah, I'm just not sure you'll get a lot of play out of it, because it is a bit of a vanilla card, isn't it?
I'm not sure you'll see a lot of play out of Warlock, to be honest with you, but
we might be surprised.
We'll be surprised. I do love the Death Knight, so we'll,
Bone
Baron, terrible.
Had 2 1/1 skeletons.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
It does combo and everything, but to be fair, the only card I want to talk about there is Devour Mind, the bigger Thought Steal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one. It's a nice card. I really like it because if you're playing this kind of card, you're playing a very, very slow deck.
Yeah.
And you can Shadow Visions into it, and you can just do... This is going to be your Archbishop Benedictus ridiculous deck.
It's like you can... Because obviously you compare it to something like, for instance, Kabbalist 2.
Where
you're getting 3 cards. obviously they're not directly spells, but they could be anything out of your opponent's deck. And like the cards nowadays, there's no bad cards being played really.
Yeah,
It's gonna
you
be
don't play,
anything you get is gonna be good. And depending on who you're playing, obviously, it's more of a case like it's better than Thoughtsteel, because if you're playing a deck that the cards don't really synergize that well, like for instance Rogue, it's going to be quite difficult to play in a priest. But suddenly you're getting 3 cards, and these 3 cards
that could work. They could all work together.
It makes a different story, especially now that you've got things like the legendary that's putting a copy of your opponent's deck into your deck. I mean, that is ridiculous. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. If I pull Archbishop Benedictus, that's gonna be such a fun deck. Anyway, moving on.
That's next on my craft list.
I love the card so much. A ticking meme.
Yeah.
No. Well, we can. I'm going to fly through these cards quickly, in my opinion. I think Ticking Abomination's hilarious because it's come this meme card that was the first card revealed. You could play it in this kind of deck with all the eggs, so I think it's very good. Cold Wraith, really like in the freeze decks. A bit sad it's just Mage, not generic, because they tried to do so freeze with Shaman. You would think they'd try and make it more generic to Mage. Shaman could also play it as well.
Yeah.
But Frozen Clone is stupid. I love the card so much. I know you can play around it, but it's more like you've got to play around Mirror's Entity, Potion of Polymorph, and Frozen Clone.
And also, it's like when you're trying to play around Mirror's Entity, because Mirror's Entity is the go-to. People more care about the board. They want to control the board.
Yeah.
So they'll play the cheap stuff. They'll play the crap stuff. They'll play their, if you're a rogue, for instance, they'll play your, what's the pirate, the 1/1?
Swashbuckler. They'll do things.
And get two copies of Swashbuckler is absolutely hilarious. You know what I mean? That's just something amazing thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it, like I said, like you said, it adds to the pool of secrets and makes it so much harder to play.
Because now you're playing. Because normally when they've got a secret and you've played a bunch of minions, you're like, and you attack them, it's like, oh, it's Ice Block. But then you could think it's Spellbender, Mana Bind, or Counterspell. And now the same kind of thing when you're playing spells. Oh, this could be Mirror's Entity, Potion of Polymorph, or Frozen Clone, or Ice Block, or Ice Barrier, or Vaporize. And it's just like there's so many now. The pool is amazing for Mage. Does make that 8-cost spell slightly better if you do pack your deck with so many secrets, but that's a wait and see.
Considering you have got like the 2/1 that makes you play a secret straight away, and you got Cabal Priest, what's Cabal? I can't remember card names today. I'm really
no, it's I know. Yeah, the 4/3 you can play a secret for free. I think Cabal Lackey needed better secrets to play with it.
I feel like it's got that now. Though.
Yeah, because you can't play. You can't really play that with like an effigy. Or,
But it's like, for instance, if you whack that one out with Cabal, because that is a turn 1 Cabal thing. That's the best one for that now. Because they summon something, and you're looking at turn 2, where you're definitely going to be able to summon whatever they summon if they do summon it. And it's just it makes you as a mage keep up with tempo of board, which is one of the hardest things to do with a mage.
Yeah.
Hence why you get all these freezing things going on.
Yeah.
Here you go, another epic.
Doomerang. Love it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And you've got that weapon that makes your hero immune.
Yeah, plus you got the weapon that gets cost less for each time you've played a minion, which means you get down to the last durability.
Yeah,
you
basically
attack with it, you can sting with it, it comes back to your hand, you play it again for free. It's good, but also there is a lot of setup to make it good there.
But then it also works with giving your weapons poisonous, also with giving your weapons lifesteal. You then just kill something and then you carry on. Kneeling the Banshee is meh. I mean, I don't like the idea of having this kind of Fel Reaver, but I know it's more controllable than Fel Reaver because you control when you play the cards. But is that worth a 4-mana 5/5? The only thing I can compare this to really is that 3-mana 5/5 in Warlock when you take 5 when you summon a minion. You play it early to trade into their 5-drop, and then you play your stuff. I don't think that won't be as bad.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's hard to tell where I was going to go, but again, I don't think this card's going to get particularly a lot of play. No. I feel like it's going to be more interesting in situations where you end up summoning 4/4s, like for instance with the Ironforge portal and stuff like that. I mean, you're going to shit a brick when that comes out with that. So
Bear Shark should have been called Man Bear Shark. Can we agree that right now?
Yeah.
Really nice card. Going to be a pain in the backside in Arena, but then at the same time it's Hunter, so Hunter's not going to cause.
It's going to be a pain in the backside regardless. I mean, they definitely made the right call making it a 4/3 rather than a 3/4. 3/4 would have been broken.
Yeah, it's good with Builder Beast too. Just that the effect it's
your
got.
stats alone. Never mind the effect. That's crazy.
Yeah. The Acolyte of Agony. I kind of agree with a lot of people's like conception on this that priests don't need lifesteal.
Yeah.
They're not the class that needs lifesteal because they're priests.
I can completely agree with that.
So I don't think this card's going to see any play whatsoever. If you could buff the attack,
it's going to be an arena card. It is.
Yeah, it'll be an arena.
It's a good card. It is a good card. Stats, they're on their money.
Yeah.
Having the lifesteal effect is great, but like
you'll never. This will never see constructed priest play. Yeah.
Crypt Lord. We summon him in game +1 health. It's a good card.
Yeah.
It's a really good card. I mean, you can't doubt it. I mean, it's a 1/6 stat. It's absolutely incredible. Getting more health every time it's I mean, these like one attack taunters thing that they got going with.
Because you'd rather buff your health with the taunt.
Well, it's really interesting because I think like evolving spores is probably gonna get like more play now because it's gonna be easier to keep things on the board because they just got sheer amount of health. You know what I mean?
The Crypt Lord, I feel, was designed to stop the token druid and then just fits right into the token druid.
Yeah.
Because you've just got this minion that they can't deal with and then you're playing little guys around and you're buffing it because you're buffing it with like Mark of the Lotus.
Yeah.
It becomes really good then because it became a 2/7 is really good, then just keeps getting bigger. Another one that's going to make Quest Mage good. The Stone Hill, the Chain Gang, love it. Really do like it. Especially, again, you've probably got to play on the right deck, obviously. I would say maybe like a hand buff-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely hand buff. Absolutely hand buff. But it's, I mean, like I said, they need to kind of focus on that a little bit more because it's going to be a mechanic that just dies. The way that the game's evolving at the moment, the whole hand buffing thing has just kind of been tossed to the sideline. Having cards like this kind of like at least makes it a slight more attractive.
It just didn't work as well, did it, that they thought? It's kind of like, it's basically like an all-class Spirit Wolves for 4. And I think it's better than making it a spell. I just like the idea of it being a minion. I think it's better.
I like the fact that they keep adding, like, you can. I mean, you can see where they're going with the rogue. Like, keep constantly giving you weapons effects. Like, you can give you a weapon poison now. You can buff it. You can destroy it and bring it back to your hand. You can give it a life steal. I mean, rogue is becoming the weapon class now, and it's quite.
It's fitting as well. Like rogue needed that because that's what rogues are. They don't have other things around them. They don't have armies. They're just themselves. They stealth themselves and they go and stab you in the back. That's it.
It's cool.
And I do like it. I just don't know if it's going to be good enough, depending on what the meta goes with, because I'm just hoping it's not another
having that
meta.
thing, giving your weapon lifesteal and poison is just sick.
Yeah. Really, really good.
They've seen all those. We've talked about them.
We've talked about all those.
This video's going to get quicker as we go along. What we got?
Here we go. That's a card. This is like a card that's had everybody talking. What do you think about it? Come on.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It is the card that gets rid of the card. I mean, for instance, it is the anti-Jade Druid card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to the end of the game and then suddenly they've got one card left in the deck. You know what it is. Everybody knows what it is. You want to get rid of it. Bam, no Ferratu, game over. You know what I mean? It's a good strategy to counter playing decks. So
hang on. Whoa. Jade Druid will never run out of deck though.
Yeah, sure, but like
it's more that because all you're going to do in there is milling a Jade.
Yeah, but for instance, a lot of people now with Jade Druids, they'll play the first one to summon a Jade, and then they'll wait until they draw the next one. You know what I mean? You're summoning 2/3. It's a 2/3. The stats are there, and then you're removing a card from your opponent's deck. You got to think about it this way: like a lot of times when you're playing against decks, I mean, depending on what deck you're playing, especially Warlock, you're kind of wanting to go card for card with something. So then to suddenly have a card that comes in and it's already removing a card from your opponent's deck, it's taking out a card. So it's already done its job before it even gets into battling things.
But then, okay, so I agree with the other side against this card because if you play it on 2 and you remove their combo piece, their really good card, then what if their next card is exactly what they need to do a lot more damage to you? This is removing this card for me is because the only reason a 2-mana 2/3, the only card in the meta right now that's played as a 2-mana 2/3 is Crawler because you've got that chance of playing against pirates and it gets bigger. I just think the card I think it's nice. I like the idea. I think I might try Warlock with like 2 of these and 2 Call It Oracles and just try and have fun with that. But I think it's like a competitive standpoint. there's no unless you hit the Inquest Mage, their Archmage Antonitis, then it's not that great because you could just be digging them to the exact card they need to kill you.
I can see arguments for both sides, but like I said, I think again it's going to be the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
As it stands at this point, I think it's going to get played. I think it's going to do well. I like it. I like it a lot. It's definitely, at the very least, I think everyone can agree there is definitely going to be some amazing Trolldom videos that come out.
Yes. Webweave, I actually went up and down on this card because I saw it. I thought 5 mana for 2/1/2. No, that's terrible. Apparently, they actually the originally was 4 mana, and they said that was too broken because you're getting 2 little guys with poisonous, and poisonous is a dangerous mechanic.
Yeah.
So I do actually like the card. Whether it will see that much play, I don't know, but I do actually like the card. I think it's really good
because it's one card to summon two poisonous snail dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's 1 card for 2, and the 2 cards that are coming out work. So I don't know whether or not it's going to get play. It's, again, proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. Death Speaker, I think, again, another card that's going to appear in a lot of trolling videos, a lot of random ass combos, but it's like, you may as well just give your minion a Divine Shield. Because then it can at least do something afterwards. I like the card. I love the idea that all classes...
You're giving your minion immune. So
all classes can have
add
immune.
that to, say, for instance, Wind Fury.
Yeah.
And then you got double Divine Shield.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a good card. It is. I just don't know what deck it's going to fit in.
It's
if
hard to
anything.
tell.
And then this card's awful. Okay, so we're carrying on.
No explanation needed.
It's a 1 mana 1/1 that when it attacks, you do 2 damage to the enemy hero.
Does that include the 1 attack, or does it just do 2? Fate Spinner.
Fate Spinner.
Deal 3 banish all minions or give them all +2/+2. You see, the thing is, you have to think about it in the sense that you've got a lot of minions now in Druid that have a crap load of health.
Yeah.
So that is relevant. Secondly, you got another card that buffs everything on the field for a Druid, which you can add to all the other ones that do exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, at the same time, it doesn't happen until the Death Rattle, which does make it. I mean, it would be broken as a battle cry.
Oh yeah, it'd be stupid as a battle cry.
But at the same time, again, it's a chooser thing. So you bring it out with Fandral, and you're looking at a fucking amazing, like...
You're looking at something good. What I like about this card, I think my favourite thing I've heard about this card, because obviously when people saw it and I agreed, it's like, it's going to be really easy to know what effect they've picked. Like, do you have a board? No. So they've probably picked 3 damage. Like, and then, but what could be quite funny is if you play it and you pick the +2/+2. If they've got a board and you haven't, then automatically you've picked the 3 damage to the board. And then if you went turn 6 living mana, then traded this thing in, you've just suddenly swung the board in such a ridiculous way.
Yeah.
That you're just gonna, I wouldn't say win, but you're gonna. I love the idea of these secret death rattles. I think it's really nice. And so Dark Skull Knight is not very good. That's that card I was saying about with the ridiculous Knife Juggler Defile combo. Apart from that, I don't actually see it being that good. I love the artwork in gold though. Animated Berserker.
Well, that being said, again in Combo Druid, when you're keeping out all these things, you could summon it, and like all these things are coming out again for all your minions being traded in to get rid of stuff. So know, it's one of them.
And it could be I suppose it's not a bad hand buff card too. Again, just get that health a bit higher, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Animated Berserker is definitely one of these cards that it's just obviously going to be the pinnacle of these style of decks. So I want to try.
Yeah.
I mean, if I pull either, because
it's the kind of deck you tried after you tried everything else.
You could do it with Rotface, but I think you need the Death Knight and Rotface.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you've definitely swung me to that card completely.
Yeah.
Onwards.
Okay, a whole bunch of new cards here. Okay, let's start with Druid of the Swarm.
Choose one. Transform into a 1/2 poisonous or a 1. It's
good.
It's
good.
No, for 2, it's really really good.
And what does it like? This is what I want to know. I mean, does it combine stats when you do it with Fandral?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because again, like a 2, what would it be like a 2/7.
Yeah, because like obviously you see with
That'd be
Druid of the Claw, for instance, it comes out as a 4/6, so it just picks the highest stats. So is it going to be a 1/5 poisonous if you summon it with Fandral?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it's 1/5 poisonous for 2 mana, which is amazing. It's really, really good.
Really, really good.
I mean, obviously you compare that to the 2/5 poisonous minion, which is a 5 mana minion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Craziness. And also, what a way to protect Fandral, right? Turn 6. Craziness.
That's absolutely nuts. Toxic Arrow.
2 damage to a minion if it survives given poisonous.
Weird. Like, such an odd effect, but at the same time...
Because obviously you'd want to do it to your own minion. It's versatile in the sense that you can kill off something if you absolutely have to. It's a 2 damage spell for 2 mana, so that's standard. But then you got this other little mechanic that, if you're in a weird situation where you got a minion with higher health, which to be fair, a lot of the beasts do have more than 2 health. So
yeah, they have a biggish minion. You have a minion.
So
I don't know, a Tundra
it's
Rhino
versatile.
or something.
I can get behind its epic status. Whether or not it's going to see a lot of play again, it's to be seen.
Yeah. One cost destroy a friendly minion game +2/+2 for Warlock. It kind of fits in this kind of ticking abomination egg deck, which is never going to be a thing, but I feel like this, and then it's where we possess villager and things like that. Obviously want your minions to die,
but there's ways of getting it done. So yeah, it's
and then you play like Ravenous. Is it Ravenous Paradox? I might try that deck out.
1 for a 3/3 is never bad, and
no,
they've got a lot of ways of summoning minions really quickly. So
yeah,
you could see a lot of Rush Warlocks coming out of this.
You either go like, or you could even go like a Void Caller coin.
Yeah.
It's like, or just, possess villager, coin, then you got 1/1 and a 3/3.
Totally. Then you got Skelemancer, and that's just garbage. I mean, unless you play it against Doomsayer, but that's literally the only scenario where it's good.
Yeah,
it's literally the only scenario.
I might play it in Paladin just to see what happens, but that'll be some time from now, or I might just forget.
Well, the one thing is, again with these Skelemancers and the ones that come back, if you bring it back when there's off when you got a field, it does really put them off using a field.
It does, yeah. Right then, so these Death Lords, these new Death Lords, with an even bigger downside to Death Lord in a lot of scenarios.
Overload for 3 is
on turn 3
too much. It is
on
just
turn 4 you have 1 mana.
Too much to summon something like that and have Shadow Word of Pain just raid you. It's just no.
I quite like the this guy. The rogue, during your turn your weapon doesn't use durability,
like I said,
which is again with the poisonous,
they've focused so much on the rogue weapons, and
because again you've got that other turn where you can swing, and then you can swing again, and you boomerang, and I honestly can't wait to make
because
I cannot wait to make a rogue deck.
Because the thing is, it gives rogue one thing they didn't have before. They were really good at like summoning big fields and like getting through their deck and kind of setting up combos. But one thing that they've got now is a lot of reach. Now that suddenly got all these weapons and stuff, and got all these combinations of weapons, they have so much more reach now, which means they can take a field when they got nothing and actually get to your health and get to your face and take out like a great chunk
and don't take a lot back, which is the big problem with the class.
Exactly. What about Shadow Ascendant? Fantastic, I think.
I think it's one of those things. It's like where I don't know. It's going to be interesting what priest deck it fits into. Again, if you go turn 1 Northshire Cleric, turn 2 Shadow Ascendant, brilliant.
The thing is,
brilliant.
I feel this card makes more cards more relevant now. Because if you think about it in combination with things like Young Priestess or the 1/3 that gives you +1 attack, if you have all 3 of those going at the same time, you're getting a field that's going to get out of control very quickly.
Well, as I say, it's a deck that's a new style of priest that we haven't seen before. So I think it's
aggressive.
It's aggressive. And an aggressive priest. You've never seen that before. But no, I agree. It's got some potential in just even that with the 3-cost lifesteal minion, because I did say as a way if you buff your attacks, Backlight Vanguard could be okay in that kind of style of deck. You just want to try and snowball your opponent.
Oh, it's beautiful dust though, isn't it?
It's such a nice gold. Like, you wouldn't even know the arrows were there before, and you still don't care. Yeah, dust. They might both be dust, to be honest, but such a bad cat. Hey.
Oh, I know. I was literally just thinking you haven't had a legendary in a while. Here he is, the Lich King himself. Yes. I'm up and down with this card. It's an 8/8 Taunter, absolutely fantastic. It's bringing an extra card to your hand. The Death Knight cards themselves, though, there's so much drawbacks to a lot of them. It's scary. It's really hard to use them. I find a lot of the time.
You get like the.
I've played with it a few times, and I find these cards are just literally sitting in my hand because I'm too terrified to use them because I don't want to lose like 5 cards off the top of my deck, or I don't want to discard stuff, or I don't want to take damage for things, and it's just like. It's not fun being a Death Knight, man. I mean, you really have to sacrifice a lot of yourself to do it. I mean, the effects themselves, I mean, what you're getting in return can be really, really good. Wiping fields for nothing. I mean, it's one of them. It's one. It is
one of them. I was trying to find the cards. We can actually look through them, but I can't really find it. We'll have to look at some other time. But I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
So happy about that.
Might have to cut this video into 2.
Let's find out.
Dark Conviction, what do you reckon?
Oh god, I've done something. I moved something on my computer, things have happened.
Dark Conviction, what do you reckon? Set a man, minions attack and health to 3 for a 2 cost.
Really like it in the respect that
versatility.
It's a
it's going on yours, it's going on theirs.
Yeah.
It's good.
I can't even think of the Keeper of Alderman. Like, obviously, you know how like upset I was when that card went.
Yeah.
Out of standard,
so, you know,
but it's more that
he's back.
Yeah, I just think it's maybe a one-off, and it also works, and it could work in the Galvadon decks with the little guys. It could work in aggressive man. That's what I liked about Keeper of Alderman. You kept a 1 cost on the field, or one like a guy on the field like this. You then buff it to a 3/3 attack, 3/3, and it's just like suddenly it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've spoken about every other card. But yes, I do agree with Chrisbee. We're going to have to split this video into 2. We've still got 55 packs and we're 40 minutes in.
We're a third of the way through. The next video, we're probably going to be whacking out all 55 packs because, like I said, we've
seen a lot of the cards.
We've spent a lot of time talking about the cards and a lot of the base cards now. So it'd be like, but yeah, please, come back.
Come back.
Yeah, we got more fun to be had.
Bye-bye.